to another Excel demo with Rich Kerr at Apex Excel Training. In this scenario, we're going to take another look at calculating the amount of days that have transpired since an invoice was issued. We did this in a previous video, and it was an exploration of the today function. We're going to add some additional capabilities here with a little bit more work. So let's take a look at what we got here. If I wanted to just calculate how many days that first invoice has been out, I could use the days function, and I would use the today function to represent the end date, right? So you're going to be evaluating the difference between an end date and a start date. Using that with the days function, we can see that this first invoice is 135 days old. If I drag it down, the next one is 91 days. But if I go all the way through this list and I have a couple of invoices for which there is no invoice date, and that's a problem. What it's doing in that case is using January 1st of 1900 as the start date. Obviously, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So let's fix that. We're going to use the if function to determine if there's a value at all in column B. So simply using the reference to the cell with as the logical test of your if function, in essence, you're saying if B2 has a value. So if B2, comma, so if that's true, we want to use B2 in our calculation. We'll say days, end date being today, comma, invoice date, start date is the invoice date, and then close parens. So that's going to calculate the number of days if there is an actual value in B2. But now we want to say what the formula should kick out as a result if there is no value in B2, and we'll say something like invoice date needed. Okay, so if there's a value in B2, use the days function with today and B2 to calculate the number of days, else say invoice date needed. So we can see that that works for the first one. When I fill it down, we can see for these two, an invoice date is needed. Now, if I were to go into invoice number 300 and say, February 9th was the invoice date, now we have a calculation. So that's how you can handle that. Use the if function to determine whether or not that calculation should happen, and if not, some other kind of result like this text or something along those lines. I hope you find it useful. Please tune in again soon for more Excel demos with Rich Kerr from Apex Excel Training. Have a productive day. Peace.